Have you ever wondered how an immigrant becomes a US citizen? Well, let's embark on a journey to explore this fascinating process, known as naturalization. Naturalization is the legal procedure that allows an immigrant to transform from a permanent resident to a full-fledged citizen of the United States. But who can undergo this transformation, you may ask? The eligibility to pursue naturalization is not universal. It's a privilege reserved for specific immigrants, particularly those who have held green cards signifying their permanent resident status for a period of 3 to 5 years. Additionally, those who meet certain military service requirements also qualify for this process. So in essence, naturalization is a gateway, a path that immigrants can tread to claim their American dream, to fully become a part of the diverse and dynamic fabric that is the United States. Now that you know what naturalization is, let's delve into the process. A vital part of the naturalization process is the interview. But how do you know when your interview will be? Well, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, or USCIS, plays a key role here. Once you've submitted your Form N-400, the application for naturalization, the USCIS steps in. After processing your application, they will send you a letter. Not an email, not a text, but a traditional letter in the mail. This letter will tell you when and where your interview is scheduled. It's crucial to keep an eye on your mailbox, as you won't receive a second letter. So mark your calendars and make yourself available for this all-important day. This interview is a significant milestone on your journey to becoming a US citizen. So, you've got your interview date. Now what should you bring with you? Preparing for any interview can be nerve-wracking, but knowing what to bring can ease some of those nerves. When you're readying yourself for a naturalization interview, the documents you bring are crucial. They're the tangible proof of your journey and your eligibility. Firstly, your permanent resident or alien registration card. This card is a testament to your legal status and the time you've spent in the United States. Secondly, your passport. It's not just a travel document, but a record of your international movements, your nationality, and your identity. Lastly, a state identification card such as a driver's license. This local ID further solidifies your presence and participation in American society. Remember, these documents are more than just pieces of paper or plastic. They're the keys to the next chapter of your life in the United States. With the correct documents ready, you're one step closer to your goal. But what will you be asked? Every interview is unique, but there are some common questions you can prepare for. When it comes to the naturalization interview, there are a variety of topics the officer may delve into. Let's explore some of these areas together. Firstly, the officer may ask questions about your personal background. This could include questions about your family, your upbringing, or significant life events. They're not trying to pry into your personal life, but rather to get a sense of who you are and your journey to this point. Next, they'll likely ask about your place and length of residence. This means you should be prepared to discuss where you've been living and for how long. They might ask, how long have you been a resident of this state? Or, when did you move to the United States? It's important to answer these questions accurately, as they're trying to confirm your eligibility for naturalization. Your work could also be a topic of discussion. The officer might ask, what is your current job? Or, can you describe your work responsibilities? These questions are designed to get a sense of your employment status and your contributions to the US workforce. Lastly, expect to answer questions about US government and history. This is part of the civics test that all potential citizens must pass. The officer might ask, who is the current president? Or, what is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? It's a good idea to review your civics knowledge before the interview. Remember, throughout the entire interview, you'll be under oath. This means you must always tell the truth no matter the question. Lying or providing misleading information during your interview could lead to serious consequences, including denial of your application. So what's the takeaway here? Well, it's quite simple. Preparation is key to acing your interview. Understand the types of questions that may be asked, and rehearse your answers. But above all, remember that honesty is always the best policy. You've worked hard to reach this point in your journey to becoming a US citizen. Trust in your story, in your truth, and let it shine through in your interview. Let's recap what we've learned today about the naturalization process. Naturalization is the path through which eligible immigrants can become US citizens. Key to this journey is the naturalization interview. You'll be notified of your interview by mail, and it's essential that you bring your permanent resident or alien registration card, passport, and a state identification card such as a driver's license. During the interview, you'll answer questions from Form N-400, which might concern your personal background, place and length of residence, work history, and knowledge of US government and history. Remember, honesty is the best policy, as you'll be under oath. Now let's test your understanding. True or false? Only green card holders can apply for naturalization. What documents should you bring to your interview? What kind of questions can you expect? Remember, becoming a US citizen is a journey. But with the right knowledge and preparation, you are well on your way to achieving your American dream.